It's funny. This is a funny story. About 20 years ago, when I used to go on the road years ago, I was a big reader. When I first moved here, I was enamored with the mafia because from my second audition to my sixth, it was all mob characters.
Of course.
And I went out for a movie here that was never made. And it was about a Queens crew.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, the people are fucking morons.
Yeah.
Anybody who shows up with a mob script 9 out of 10 times is a fucking
Every
moron.
mobster I know eventually had a script.
So, we had to go down to that building on Sunset and Vine on the bottom, on the corner. There used to be a building. They just got redone.
Yeah.
There's a coffee bean across the street.
Yeah, I know what you mean, exactly.
And there's a little seafood restaurant that blows across the street there. I ordered spaghetti and clam sauce with shrimp, and they gave me shrimp out of a can. I almost fucking lost my mind.
They should burn it down.
So I went there, and the guy offered me a ton of money for this movie. And I'll never forget that. He asked me about these characters, and I didn't know. I knew that world, but I didn't know who he was talking about. And I went on the road, and I would go to True Crime. And every $500 I got, half of it went to Blow, but the other half went to Barnes and Nobles. I just
you read up on
used to buy, and I hate used books. I hate when somebody else reads a fucking book.
Really?
Yeah, it drives me crazy. I want to read the book first. All right?
Really?
Yeah, it drives me crazy.
They take in the bathroom, they shit with it.
Yeah, who the fuck knows? I don't want to read nobody else's fucking book.
It's all tagged up.
So unless I know you, you give me the book, I don't mind having fucking shitty paper. So I started reading all this true crime shit, and I read about this guy. I read about Witsec. There was a book called Witsec for a while.
I don't know that one.
And in Witsec, they gave a lot of information. I mean, for them to give out this much information, there was a guy who wrote about the pitfalls of Witsec.
I don't know what that is.
This book must have come out in '97.
What's Witsec?
Witsec, the witness relocation.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I thought it was an area.
It was all about
that.
When mobsters do the Witsec program.
Okay.
How hard their lives become. Like they had the example of the guy that went in, but while he went in, he made a cookbook, and he got on Letterman, and the feds are like,
I remember that.
Are you fucking retarded?
Yeah.
You cannot go on David Letterman. And he said, I'm going on David Letterman.
Yeah.
So he told the feds to go fuck themselves. He got the David Letterman. David Letterman canceled him. Said, I can't put you on now because you created too much fucking havoc.
Oh, God.
So it was fucking crazy, but it had about
what was that guy?
The towns that they set up.
Yeah.
Witsec was a book about the towns they had set up. The government had set up towns to put different witness relocations in that town so it would be easy for them to monitor.
Sure.
Hysterical.
And they had the list of cities, and then they had they took the book and they wrapped it around Henry Hill. Really,
sure.
It wasn't about Henry Hill, but they had an example.
It's the most famous rat
of how the witness relocation plan is really destructive, because just because you move them to fucking Nebraska doesn't mean they stop stealing.
You put a criminal in the neighborhood.
They go fucking bananas. They go fucking bananas. I'm driving down the street and I see these people who don't lock their doors.
Yeah.
What are you, fucking crazy?
Right.
I'm gonna rob it.
Right.
Your garage is open with a tractor.
I know
a guy who buys trailers down the corner,
I know.
So the problem they were having, the rate of recidivism.
Recidivism,
they even did a movie called My Blue Heaven.
I remember.
It was
Steve
brilliant
Funny
movie where they took all the stories of how that's what happens. So they would move, let's say me and Benza, I was with the Gambinos and Benza was with the fucking Genovese. They would take us and put us both in a suburb of Houston.
Yeah.
And take their chances of us bumping into each other.
Yeah. I know.
And how many people in the town were witness protection?
They would put
50%?
3, 4.
I thought it was entire
6,
towns of them, and
but they wouldn't put 2 mobsters in there.
Right.
They put 2 mobsters, a Jew attorney who had information on narcos.
Yeah.
A couple that did drug pushing for the Cali cartel.
Yep.
So you would know. These would just be regular people, but it was easier for the feds to monitor this town.
Yeah, that's all.
One of the towns that they had when I went to Albuquerque was, I think, Rio something. And that was one of the cities that they mentioned in this book.
Yeah.
And I heard through the years that that's where they sent Big Joe Messina.
Oh, wow, yeah. Interesting.
So I'm doing radio down there, and I'm talking to him, and I go, that's funny because I heard Big Joe Messino's down here, and the guy goes, that's funny because the name of the restaurant, the best Italian restaurant,
Yeah.
is Big Joe's
No
Italian
kidding.
restaurant. When Sammy the Bull,
He opened up in Phoenix.
He opened up
Yeah.
a restaurant in Phoenix, and the slogan of it was the best kept secret in Tempe is in Scottsdale.
Best kept secret. Yeah, best kept secret. It's
Are you fucking kidding
right in
me?
their face?
Right in their face.
And that's what Weinstein ate by accident, complete accident. I had a story that
Yeah, but
he showed up at fucking Sammy's joint, thinking it was low, whatever he thought, but it was the worst place to go. And it's also funny, you know, of all the places to go, you got to go to Sammy. Maybe he was told to go there because he did Mob Wives on TV. Maybe he heard from Karen Gravano that her dad has opened the place, and
but the dad
I got to get him on the show.
No, the dad doesn't own it anymore.
No,
When
not
he got
anymore.
locked up. They
No.
sold it.
Yeah.
And I think the mother went back to work there for a while.
But I thought still family owned in some capacity, or maybe it was.
No,
not now.
once the feds come in for
not now.
ecstasy, you lose everything.
No,
They
'cause,
take the restaurant.
yeah,
they take the fucking.
It's like $700,000 a month.
Yeah, he was making some
cleaning
dough.
up.
He was making some dough. I never forget one of the sickest things I ever did was I got involved with. Well, they were my neighborhood friends. It was like Sabatino, Carlos Perez.
Chicha Bastits.
No, Chicha Bastich was a Kennedy school guy. This was the Giving Out Terrace crew. It was in those days. It was Carlos Perez, me, Sabatino, Dominic Special, God bless his soul. A couple other kids I may forget. There was a soccer field. It's called Schutzen Park,
Schutzen.
right in Union City. It's been there since fucking before Hitler. And it's a German place that serves German food, but they also cater it out. You can have parties there.
Oh, yeah?
So they have all the political parties there. When we were kids, they practiced baseball back there. North Bergen had the rights to practice Little League baseball back there. And there was a soccer field back there. So on the weekends, the German soccer team would play back there and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And it was basically, it had stands.
Yeah.
I don't know what you could fit in there. I don't know, 2,000, 3,000.
It's a park.
But it was covered by this tin thing.
Oh, it was covered. Oh, okay.
It was covered by this tin roof. And for years, starting, I mean, I remember going up there when I was like 10 and hitting balls with the Todd brothers. By the way, one of them just died, Jeff Todd and Rich Todd and Vanacek. And we'd go up there on our own and play ball.
Right.
But there was a guy back there. His name was the Butcher. And if he caught you back there, he'd chase you with a knife and a German Shepherd.
Oh, shepherds with a dog back then.
But the beautiful of it, we used to go up there and ride the motorcycles, and that would really drive him crazy. He would chase you and say all those Zig Heil words and shit.
Right.
But we figured out, one day somebody told me, when my mother first died, I had all these different friends, and I had good people in my life. But I had this one particular kid, Mike Denny. Everybody called him the devil. Like people would go, he's the devil. I took a liking to Mike Denny. Mike Denny was a short wrestler. I went to Lehigh.
Lehigh, yeah.
And but he just had him. You know, he was one of those guys that every time you did something with him,
Your trouble.
you came up short.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
you're not gonna believe what
I know,
happened. The guy
fuck,
gave me
I can't
300
stand
instead of
it.
5.
Yeah.
And I tolerated it for about a year, and I lost him as a friend.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, he was a money-making machine. When it came to make money at night, the problem with him was he robbed all the wrong people. His father owned a ship refurbishing company. So when a ship lands in Newark or in Hoboken in those
ports,
days, after 6 months at sea,
Right.
they come in, weld off all the barnacles, repaint
It's a
it.
big job.
They do, and they get
big
year
company.
contracts.
Yeah, it's a big job.
Well, he would go back at night and steal the hulls.
Oh, Christ.
And steal the fucking shit that belonged to the ship. The new and he was just a
That's
fucking
crazy.
moron.
That's crazy.
But I'm snorting coke with him.
Yeah.
Listen to Aerosmith, Get Your Wings, and an
right.
RX-7. He's got to be 20, and I'm 16.
Right.
And that little crew, we put together, one day somebody mentioned that tin above the soccer field, that you could sell it.
It's worth something. Yeah, like copper.
Like copper.
Copper wiring.
Listen,
my.
everybody in my neighborhood got a ratchet set. And at night, before you went out, Lee, you took out your rattiest clothes, and we go up there, me and you, every night at 7 o'clock, because Butcher would get off. Butcher was off
he was
between
gone.
7 and 8. He took a nap. So we get up there, climb, and ratchet those things
Take
off.
big fucking panels
throw
off.
them off.
Yeah.
You had to slide off or
Sure.
you fell off. It was fucking scary. And I mean, little by little, you saw sections disappearing. Lee, it was like fucking.
What could he do?
It was like little by little every night. And then somebody else caught on.
Yeah.
So I would steal a sheet He would steal a sheet, and then he told his friend, and his two friends started stealing 2 sheets.
Yeah.
So now we almost turned into a war. Like, wait a second, this is our turf here. We've had this first. Me and the devil,
Schutz and Park is ours,
Carlos,
motherfucker. Yeah.
and Sabatino had this first. Dog, they fucking stripped every piece
Yeah.
of fucking tin. Schutz and Park had to put a tarp over it, a paper
That's
tarp
great.
for the soccer
That's
game.
great.
That was a hustle for a whole fucking summer. And we were getting like $55 a thing. There was so many people I used to bring things to.
Yeah, those I don't
That
know.
would pay me
I don't know where
money.
those people are anymore.
I used to know how to have a transmission guy
Yeah.
that would give me money for sawdust
No.
because they fill the
Sure.
transmission
Yeah,
with
yeah.
sawdust.
Yeah.
Where do you get sawdust?
The lumberyard.
Lumberyard. It's very smart.
Lumberyard. So I used to work at a lumberyard.
They don't clean up every day?
And when I got the job, the kid that had the job before me, he told me right off the bat, he goes, listen, number one, you got to steal. Because if you don't steal, they're going to know I was stealing. Number two, listen, I have existing contracts.
Are you kidding me?
And I go, what are you talking about? He goes, on Saturdays, a guy comes in and buys 40 sheets of plywood. He'll give you $400 cash. Give me $100 from now on. And I got another guy that comes in on Thursdays and gets 20 sheet of, because marine plywood was $64 a sheet, 4x8.
Right.
He would say, and it was galvanized, so
Yeah.
you could put it on boats.
Yeah.
So he would say, charge him 20 a sheet. I mean, there was days.
It's a lot to remember.
There was days me and 4 gorillas would load the back up, and at the end of the day, there was no sheets left. And I was a junior in high school.
Yeah.
I was robbing them blind, those poor fucking people.
Yeah.
There was a family at a transmission place, and they would tell me when the barrels get filled up, give us a call. So I wasn't allowed to sweep and put in the thing. I would sweep and put in barrels. And once I get 5 barrels, they give me like 100 cash, which was every week. I got 100 cash from them off the top.
great.
The job paid me $6 an hour.
Yeah, you got to make
But
a
I
living.
probably made $1,000
Yeah, you
a
gotta
week
make it.
out of that.
Right.
They had an old school register. So which meant if you spent $8, it would come up $8. But if you came in, I'd say, how you doing today? Oh, nothing. How you doing, Joey? Nice to meet you. What are you looking for? I'm redoing my basement. I need 10 sheets of 4x8 plywood at $44 a piece. 10 sheets, that's $440.
Right.
I knew that plus tax.
Right.
I would fucking do the register. I would do it on my, there was a calculator. And I mean, the register would be packed. There would be 4 salesmen at the thing. And right in front of them. They didn't know that I had loaded the sheets on. I would take the sheet and do the tax like for $440 plus tax. And instead of ringing in $488, I'd ring in $88. And the guy would give me $488, and I put $88 in the register and keep $400 and lock the register. I did this every day.
Yeah. Well, no kidding.
That's how I snorted coke my sophomore and junior year.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, because like I didn't grow up with the internet. I came when I was a teenager. But when you, like, even when Joey, you have stories of going to Florida to be on the lam.
Man,
But it like that, I don't even think that's possible really anymore. Like, it'd be really hard.
gotta go
like,
to a beach. Went to beach town.
No, I could do it.
Yeah, my friend,
think so?
my friend did
I
a
could
couple
do it.
years
But you
ago.
wouldn't be stupid and open up a comedy club called Joey's or Coco's. or something.
No. You put a hat, you shave your head, you put a hat on.
Sure.
You mix into the community, but not really.
Just
Not
enough so you don't stand
Just
out.
enough so you don't stand out.
Sure.
You don't make any commotions. You're not out at night at all. You have to live like in the 3rd season of Narcos. At the end, they said that the guy Salcedo that ratted on Narcos is somewhere in the country.
right.
And now you see him working as a mechanic.
Right.
And he's waiting online on a Kentucky Fried Chicken. But also they show the camera on Kentucky Fried Chicken how that's a complete different world of its own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Henry Hill. Henry Hill went to 7 different locations.
yeah.
Like he caused havoc.
He was a problem. Yeah. He was a problem.
Everywhere.
He was constantly a problem.
He was a problem in Memphis.
Even
Then they
in-
sent to
even-
Tennessee.
Even when he was out and lived in L.A., he was a fucking problem. Even when he was out of the witness protection, his last few years in L.A., he was a lunatic.
He was crazy.
Still causing shit.
And getting drunk in public. He was
high,
drunk
all the
every
time.
time I saw him. You know what? I never shook the guy's hand.
He was at a bench in Beverly Hills.
I always thought he was the kiss of death. Like
Yeah.
the first time I was at the store, and somebody came up to me like, "Go to the front. Henry Hill's up there talking to Chewy." I got in my car, And I drove out of there as fast as I fucking could.
What good can he
And
bring
then
you?
when I did the other Rats movie, who I love Sal Lubbots.
I don't know, Sal.
I love Sal
yeah?
Lubbots.
I don't know.
He used to live here, now he lives over there.
Okay.
And I just spoke to him about 3 weeks ago. Sal Lubbots was the first guy in a Rat on Gotti.
What's his last name?
Lubbots. Sal.
That's not real. That means
Look
crazy.
up what his last name.
Lubbots means crazy.
Sal.
I don't know. Sal
was the first guy
really?
to roll on
in Gotti's
Gotti.
crew?
But
Arena? No.
it's funny because, like, I always understood why Sammy rolled, because he was very smart. Sammy
guy.
knew
numbers.
He knew how to negotiate. He knew exactly where the bodies were hidden.
He had
and
business
he knew that if
going.
he didn't go first,
Yeah.
Sammy knew.
Yeah.
Sammy was so good that when he went first, they wouldn't believe nobody else until they finally had so much testimony that Sammy did sell drugs.
Yeah.
That they said, this can't be like this. Everybody's coming in here saying Sammy's selling drugs.
Yeah.
But fucking, he's saying that he never sold a drug in his life. The last time they put him in, because he said he never shot a cop. And he was the guy that gave the Iceman the fucking job to kill that cop.
Yeah, man.
So they put him in jail for that, and then the Iceman died by mistake. What's Sal Lubbots?
Not Polisi, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, Polisi. Oh,
Sal
sure.
Polisi.
Of course I know Sal Polisi. Yeah. I didn't know Bots. Okay, yeah, Polisi.
It's crazy because
Yeah.
when you look at a rat, you go, well, he's a rat.
Yeah.
All right, fuck him. He's a rat. He did this and this and this. But as I got older, I understood the differences.
Yeah.
All right, I understood the differences.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we get in, like, I think of The Sopranos. And I walk in my house and I go, what if I was Tony Soprano? What if I just came from shooting somebody and I got to come in the house and play with my kid? Like, the cops aren't going to knock on my door.
Yeah.
I just came from a wire room where fucking I'm taking action on fucking whatever.
Yeah.
There's chicks there. They're sucking my dick. Half the crew's on blow.
And you gotta
tell
come
them
home.
not to do coke.
Right.
And you're drinking all day, and you got to come home. I would never comprehend that life.
No, I can't.
Like, I can't imagine somebody kicking my door down. I can't imagine opening my door with mercy and somebody driving by and shooting at me because I made the wrong decision on a family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even imagine that.
But
world.
imagine even like if you're John Gotti, because I used to see him out. Imagine him doing what he was doing, running a lot of places here and there, but then, and fucking beautiful women. And then eventually he's got to go home to the little house in Howard Beach with the wife and the old bedrooms. And I'm sure they have old furniture from the third year of their marriage. I bet there's still stuff in there from their first 10 years of marriage. A couch, with the plastic on it or something. How do you fucking go from that world? But he did it for a good amount of time. Really running the fucking family. And then going back to, he didn't have the big mansion like Paulie Castellano. He didn't do shit like that. He was flashy with his suits and he's flashy in public with certain people, but he loved that. He really liked that adulation from people. Even when I used to go see him in court, he'd come out of the car. It was like a movie, because that's why they love it. The mafia. They're so dramatic in what they do. If you're a black gangster, you come out of the car a different person. You're an Italian gangster, you come out, you got $100 bills for the homeless guy. You kiss the fucking newswoman who's always on your back with the money. People start to love seeing you. It's a different type of gangster. Mexican gangster doesn't come out of his house with people loving him around the neighborhood.
I still always like the guy who drives the 69 car beat up, who has jeans with a hole in it, who's playing stupid.
Right.
I'll never forget going to this place when I was a kid on 42nd Street, right around the corner from the Lincoln Tunnel. And you went to get your dick sucked there. It was like a long fucking street.
Really?
It was probably 46th Street, 41st Street, whatever the fuck it was. There was a long street. And I had a couple friends who would go there and say, I want to get my dick sucked. And we'd have to get out of the car and sit there.
I remember that. Yeah, we did that too in high school, 1980.
I'll never forget, like, girls walking over to us and going, what, you guys don't want to get your dick sucked? And we're like, nah, whatever.
Yeah.
And one day my friend said, where's your pimp? And this was early on. We were like juniors in high school.
Yeah.
She's like, we ain't got no pimps. We run our own game and all
Right.
this shit. But I'll never forget there was a guy in a wheelchair that was in the corner.
Yeah.
And one day, somebody said to me, next time you go over there, make sure that the guy with the wheelchair in the corner. And I went over there just to drive somebody one day.
Right.
And I saw that guy, and I put two and two together.
He's
I go,
the
that's
pimp.
weird. And they go,
Wheels.
he's the pimp.
He's Wheels.
He's got a machine gun under there. He's playing handicap.
Oh, really?
He'd have the sign, give me money,
that's
Vietnam
great.
vet. But he had a gun under that, and he would shoot you if you messed with his chicks because they had to suck your dick on that block. When I went to San Francisco in '85, I had a warrant in Jersey. And basically what I was doing in San Francisco, I was a con man. I had a suit, and I would go to hotels every day with a Wall Street Journal, and I'd sit in the lobby and wait for people to check in.
That's great.
I listened to what room number they were going, and I'd run upstairs 10 minutes afterward, and I'd either steal the maid's keys, because in those days there was no electronic keys.
Right.
The maids would stick the keys in the door, leave the door open with the keys hanging there.
So bitch.
I'd find out where the maid was at 9 o'clock and take her keys. Once I had the master key, you couldn't stop me.
Oh, my God, that must be.
I'd wait
How
for
do you
you
stay
to
home?
check in. So I lived in the Tenderloin.
Oh, yeah.
I lived in a place called the Virginian Hotel, which is now the hostel. And across the street from there, that was the Hilton. That was my prime spot.
Wow.
So I would wake up at 7 and go to the Hilton, sit there with the master key. And there was no cameras in those days. And I'd wait for you to check in time.
No cameras.
And I was doing it, but this is where I got greedy. I was doing it at like 2 or 3 different hotels.
Shit.
I had a guy that would buy it from me, no questions asked, no ID, right down the corner.
Really?
And then the Cubans. I met these refugee Cubans that had come in from Mariel, and they were real deal.
Yeah, right.
They were real deal.
Sure.
And their sponsor on the block was an old guy called El Puro. So whatever you made for the day, you had to give him a cut. He was the old man.
You gotta take a
he
piece.
owned the corner.
Right. Tribute.
And you hustled on that corner.
Right.
What could you do on that corner? You could sell coke. You could sell weed. You could mug somebody. But my main thing in those days was there was a Cuban thief that specialized in traveler's checks.
Wow.
He didn't know the language.
Yeah.
So for 50%, I would go to Japantown up in northern San Francisco. They wouldn't ask for ID on the American Express. I would put a suit on and just take something that was $32.50 with $100 American Express there.
Right.
And I'd pay for it until I got all the cash back, and then we'd split the cash and we'd take the merch and sell the merch.
Sure.
It was like fucking stealing.
Yeah.
I did that for a fucking sum. I mean, I was a one-man machine.
I know that, yeah.
And I worked for myself. It was just beautiful.
Well, yeah. No,
there was bad days.
Sure, but...
And there was good days. When you had bad days, you always went to Pudo and said, let me get 50 to get me started, and I'll give you 65 tomorrow.
Listen.
Fucking crazy.
The best. When my roommate Chico ran, again, he's like you. When he was one of the security guys at Scores, but he elevated to a position where, it's a mob joint. Even the girls kick up to the security kicks up to the manager kicks up to the agent.
It's crazy.
Owner kicks up to the mob. It's all kick up, right? And so Chico, every night, this is when Wall Street's booming. Bill Clinton's president. Every night there was 2 or 3 credit cards that people, every week, 2 or 3 cards would be forgot. But by a Wall Street guy, not just some guy who drove in from Jersey. He's going to call it right in the next morning. But a Wall Street guy who goes to work late the next day, he's on the floor, he don't fucking care about his Amex. The minute we got this, we had a guy that owned suit stores on Madison Avenue. We had electronic stores down on Bowery. When we got one of those cards, the Muldoons we called them, we called those friends for stereo equipment, for suits. We'd whack out the card, and the card would only be charged $50. The client would go, I got to pay $50. My Amex was stolen. It was a small penalty. Amex would pay for the rest of the shit because it was theft. No cameras. We'd split the shit we buy. He'd give us suits. We'd give him cash. It was fucking great.
I even kept cards, even after they were hot.
You could sell them.
No, I would keep cards because I would go to Chinese restaurants and get the lunch special. It was in those days. It was $4.95 with a can of soda, $5.50 plus tax.
Right.
I would leave a $7 tip. What, they're going to open up the book and look at the numbers? There was no computer.
There was no computer.
There was no scan.
It was
So I always ate lunch on a fucking stolen credit card.
Right.
Just leave the card?
No. Just
it was
the same way.
It was the thing, right?
It was an imprint.
The imprint thing.
And then at the end of the day, they deposit in the bank, and the bank shoots it back. This is a stolen card.
And if that broke...
So I would go 2 days in a row, and then I would disappear. I'd go to a gyro place for 2 days. Right. And then once I get stole back, I would never do it at my favorite restaurants. You don't shit where you sleep.
Right.
So you always kept the card.
Yeah.
The card, it was I can't even, like, today there's completely different crimes.
I know.
People go online, steal your card, you're done. But in the old days, I mean, I remember the first time I was exposed to it was a friend of mine who I'm still in contact with, his mom.
Yeah.
All you had to do was go to his mom and go, listen, I need 2 Apple computer, 19 inches, I needed 3 iPro cameras and 3 microphones. She'd go on the internet, not in those days, but she like today, she'd go, all right, the 3 mics are $140 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
The computer's $1,600. You want 2 of them? That's $3,200. That's $48.
Right.
And give me $5,500. I'll be here tonight at 6 o'clock. Give me $3,000 cash.
Right.
What are you gonna say, Lee?
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you $3,000 because
Yeah.
I just saved you $2,400.
Sure.
$3,000 cash tonight. Like that. That's how quick it was. Because she had cards. She would even get me jeans.
Yeah, no.
What size jeans you need? 32, 34. I'll get you 3 of them. Jeans in those days were $12 a piece. So for $20, you got 3 pair of fucking Levi's.
Well, no one loses. The guy that owned the suit store, you bought 4 suits, you whacked, he made
He was in on it too. He was in on it too.
He knew. He was a friend of ours. He'd open up, I want these 3 suits, here you go. Boom. He makes money from the shop. And if you want to sell the suits, you can. But we like wearing suits. So he made money. And when the guy reported it stolen, Amex is only responsible for a certain amount. I mean, the whole amount. The store is only responsible for like $50. Something small. Amex pays all that.
They nailed me one time. One time, they had me, but they didn't. What had happened was I was a real fucking gavone. I had a friend who got cards. And for about 6 months, I tapped the cards very lightly. I was very smart with them. I was trying to get my life together. I wasn't doing blow.
Right.
I had just turned 22 or 21. And it was the first time I hadn't done blow in like 6 years.
Oh, my God.
I started at 79. And New Year's 84, I said, that's it.
Wow.
And but I still dabbled with the weed. I didn't drink then, so it wasn't about drinking. And a friend of mine, I bumped into him in Manhattan one day, and he goes, can you move credit cards? I'm like, what do you mean move them? He goes, I don't use them. I go, I'll do it. He goes, there's no ID, but just go to places that you know. Let the people know. So if you go to a restaurant, Lee, come here. It's a stolen credit card.
Right.
So charge it, and I'll give you $100 tip.
Right.
And you make 100. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Get yourself a buffet to go.
Right.
You're the waiter. So I cut the deal with you. You were my friend. I grew up with you. You're not going to get in trouble. You didn't know nothing.
I didn't
you
know.
don't know nothing. He had no stolen.
I know.
So I would go to places that you worked, Lee. And we'd run up a tab, and then I'd say, give yourself a $300 tip and give me 100.
Yeah. I know. You got to do it.
You have no idea, Lee.
Yeah. People.
There was money everywhere. And then I moved to Boulder. And I'm walking around.
That must be the Wild West.
I got 18 grand. I got 10 grand in the bank account and 8 grand cash in my room. And I'm down to 4 grand. I go, what am I doing? Who am I, fucking Johnny Gambino? I called my buddy and I said, send me some cards.
Yeah,
He goes, well, you got to send me $500 a card.
No.
I'll put it in the fucking mail tomorrow. I send money over $2,500. You send me fucking 5 cards. And it was all over after that. It was all over. But I didn't but the problem was nobody would buy stolen merch in Boulder. That's not in Boulder.
Were you one of the guys driving around in the cars with like the extra box of
The
speakers?
extra seafood? No, those are the worst.
You don't. No,
That's so bad.
No, the speakers. Well, the seafood too.
Speakers was a
like,
thing
let's
too.
say you live next to me.
Yeah.
Like I had a buddy who lived next to me who did steroids and did blow. I went to him one day. You want to buy these?
So easy.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Every hot merch was not
Out there, it's
acceptable
not
in
a thing.
Boulder.
You come out, East Coast.
So I had to keep shit. Once in a while, people would buy it.
Right.
The only thing people would buy from me were pens.
What the fuck?
I used to go into those stores, Antiques and Us.
Oh, those
that
kind
have
of
the
pens.
frames.
Oh, okay.
And I would steal cross pens.
Oh, those.
I would tell a lady, do you have that cross pen? And this chick would go over, open up the bottom drawer, and then somebody else would distract her. She'd take the key and leave the drawer open.
God.
And I'd take all the gold covered ones and take them back to fucking the car dealership and sell them.
Yeah, I was going to say
fucking-
businessmen love that shit.
No, I was always a 50% type of guy.
Yeah.
I stole it, so 50% is
you're
profit
making
anyway.
money. You're making a fortune.
You're gonna,
Right.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
Fucking craziness.
I love that shit.
Craziness of me going. I remember being at the Boulder Mall one time, summer of '85. It's August. I'm walking through this mall. I'm 21 years old. I'm trying to get my life together. I'm walking to this mall. I'm going, I cannot believe that this is happening right now. If I had my friend Dan Rago here, God rest his soul, we'd make $1 million.
Yeah.
Our senior year in high school, we would both have like gym at 10:45. We would get in his car in high school. We were juniors, and drive up to Sears Roebuck and open up Sears the back door where the automotive is.
Yeah, all the
and
shit.
right by the back door, there was a stack of car speakers.
Oh, God.
A blow punk.
Loud punk. Yeah, it was big back then.
And all you had to do was walk in, and take a pair, and walk out. And we'd get $35. We each get $35.
Yeah.
That's 70. That's like half a gram of
Sure,
blow.
that's all you need.
And a $10 bag of weed and a 6-pack of beer.
Yeah.
We would do that 3 days a week until every box was gone.
It's great. It's
Like every fucking box was gone.
I know.
Every box was gone.
It's too easy.
And I'm embarrassed to say these stories, but they're the truth.
know
What do you
what?
want me to fucking tell you?
When I was 16, 17, we were living on Long Island, and good neighborhood, but we were the poorest family. You know, my father was the older, and everybody was young coming in. But a few of the developments of it was where all the new houses were going up with the younger money, you know. And I would go, my father had a big Cadillac, and I would go at night with a shovel, dressed in black, and I dig out. I love hedges and plants, and I know what's expensive, wood pines, I know all about plants for some reason. I would rob every beautiful hedge, young rose bushes. I knew what everything cost. And I bring them back. My father knew I was doing this. It was like a tribute. Dad, look what I got last night. And I put them in the yard by the pool before he went to work. He'd go, I like that pine. Yeah, put that rhododendron over there. That's nice. Give that to Rosalie. And then some mafia guys down the street heard I was doing it. And they go, can you grab us some of these? Yeah. So I started going out with my father's Cadillac. I lined it back with Glad bags. And I was one-man operation. I dig and they were in the earth for like a few days. They weren't like sunk in. You could just pick them out, put them in the trunk, boom, because no one lived in the model homes yet. It was all homes that were furnished and the landscaping was done, but nobody lived there. There was no cameras, once again. It's a model development. And it was a good hustle for like a summer. I made a few grand. And they paid $50 for a bush, this one, a bonsai tree, like good-looking shit.
Did you ever get the same house like multiple times when they kept refilling it?
You know what? I got a school that way. I got the school across, not across the street and down the block from my house. And then I got to be like, I can't keep hitting the school. They kept putting this beautiful spruce tree in, like 4 foot high. I'd pull it out of the ground, and you had to do it during the winter when the root ball is still going to be alive. My father let me do that shit. He thought it was so funny.